Hey friends, my Bible is open to 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and I'm going to be reading beginning at verse 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But to me it is a very small thing that I may be examined by you or by any human court. In fact, I do not even examine myself. For I am conscious of nothing against myself, yet I am not by this acquitted, but the one who examines me is the Lord. Therefore do not go on passing judgment before the time, but wait until the Lord comes, who will both bring to light the things hidden in the darkness and disclose the motives of men's hearts, and then each man's praise will come to him from God. Thus far in the book, Paul has been dealing with the Corinthians' views about their preachers. There had been several men who have worked with the church at Corinth, and Paul mentions those men by name in chapter 1. There have been people like Paul, of course, Peter, Apollos, and others who have worked with the church. And the Corinthians had some misunderstandings about how they should understand these preachers and how they should view these preachers. Some of them were highly exalted in the minds of the Corinthians, to the point that chapter 1 says that the Corinthians were dividing up into factions and saying, well, I'm of this preacher and I'm of that preacher, and I'm a disciple of this man, and well, I'm a disciple of that man. And Paul is dealing with those bad ideas in the early chapters of 1 Corinthians. And he starts to bring that discussion to a close in chapter 4. And he says, this is how you need to view us. We are stewards of God. We are servants of God. There are some people in Corinth who look at Paul as if he is the greatest thing ever. They say that they are his followers and his disciples, and they view him in a very lofty and exalted kind of a way. There are other people in Corinth who are saying, Paul's not even a real apostle, and they are putting him down, and they're saying bad things about him. And so here in chapter 4, Paul says, you're not my judges. It is not important what your estimation of me is. What matters is the Lord's assessment of me. What matters is God's judgment of me. What does he think about me and my work? And I think there's something for us there to apply to ourselves. We get so worried about what other people think about us. We worry about what people of the world think about us. What does it matter? Why are we worried about the opinion of unrighteous people? Why are we worried about the opinion of people who have no regard for the things that we have regard for as God's people? Don't worry about the judgments of others. Worry about the judgment from God. What does he think about my life? What does God say about my choices and my actions and the way that I'm living? Something to think about.